forward. Okay. Let me move some stuff around really quick before I start talking again. Okay. So American Airlines, it's going to be aavacations.com/agent. Very similar to all the other vendors and suppliers that we have, right? So it's going to have the different tabs up on the top. It's going to have your name here, right? So I'm just going to show you guys just the different features that American Airlines offers. There are some things that are a little bit different in comparison to some of the other vendors that we have access to, but some of them it's going to be the same, right? So why would you use American Airlines? So why would you use American Airlines? So you might want to use it because you want to just price match and compare, or maybe you notice that one of your clients is asking for a certain resort in particular, and you're not able to pull it up in any of the other vendors, right? So this is just another option here. So just keep in mind that American Airlines Vacations is only for bundle packages. So as it says here, book a vacation, you can only do flight, hotel, and car, or hotel only. You cannot just do flight only or car only, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, so if you hover over your name, you're gonna see here, if you click on My Bookings, it's gonna show you your recent bookings. For whatever reason, the booking that I have, I guess this isn't gonna work. For whatever reason, the booking that I have, okay, let me just move this over. It's not going to come up here. This happened to me last time. So anyway, if you wanted to start your bookings, you can do that here. If you want to update your profile, you can also do that here too. Make sure everybody's muted. Okay. So if you need to update your profile, you can do that here. This is literally the same exact screen as what it's going to look like if you're going to register with AA Vacations, right? It literally looks exactly like this, okay? Travel agent mileage rewards program. So as with any other vendor and supplier that they offer some rewards, they offer some incentives, right? AA Vacations does the same thing, okay? Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Just make sure you're muted when you come on, please. Just don't want any background noise. Okay. So as a travel agent, as you're booking these trips for clients through AA Vacations, you can also earn miles for yourself, right? So book a vacation package for your client and you'll be rewarded 1 mile per every $5 spent. Okay. So you can choose either one of these rewards, 25,000 miles per calendar year, earn up to, or earn more than 25,000 miles per calendar year. How to do that? Then it'll ask you, right? And then it'll then tell you then how to redeem those points, okay? Or those miles. So now if we go to my AAdvantage mileage award summary. So if there were any mileage awards that you received and or redeemed, right? You could do that here. The booking number, this is where you'll then put in your client's booking number and you'll be able to kind of see any miles and how many miles you accrued for that. Agent incentives. So again, like Vax, like Pleasant Holidays, like any other vendor, it's going to tell you what location or what brand, what resort chain has an incentive, right? So whether if you're earning an additional percentage of commission more, or maybe you're able to give hotel credits to clients, right? Or get cash rewards. So it'll just give you like an overview. And if you just click on one, you'll then be able to see the information with each offer or incentive, right? That way you can provide that information, whether if you're doing like a mock booking or what, right? So that's that. Then under helpful tips, This I really like because this almost kind of gives you like helpful tips or kind of how-to guides in different situations, right? So obviously these are just very general helpful tips. So any name changes will not be allowed as of March 2019. You cannot create, modify, or cancel a new booking that isn't serviceable online. So you then have to obviously call customer service. Cardholder's name must match their financial institutions, right? So it just has different things that just to keep in mind, things that are specific to AA Vacations, right? These things may not be applicable to other vendors. Remember that each vendor is unique. So commission as payment. So if you wanted to learn some more about the commissions, you can see that here. They offer a commission adjustment. So very similar to VAX, or actually, no, this is very similar to VAX. You can adjust your commission where you can add some more, but specific only to AA Vacations, they will actually allow you to apply whatever commission you are earning towards the total payment. So if this is your own travel that you want to book and your commission is going to be $1,300, you can apply your $1,300 commission to your total balance. So that's pretty cool, right? And I'll show you guys how to do that. Non-refundable rooms, travel booking tips, right? So it'll show you different types of features or different types of tips that you can do with AA Vacations. The agent markup, that's what I was saying, where it gives you that opportunity to add some commission to for yourself. But obviously, as with any agent markup, there is going to be then a processing fee or a percentage that's taken from that markup that you're putting. Okay. And I'll show you where to do that. They also offer post-booking agent markup. So if for whatever reason, a reservation was booked already, and let's say your client is either making payments towards it, or I don't know in what situation you would want to do this, but there is an option where you can update your markup. So update your commission, after the booking. Okay. After the booking has been made. How to save an itinerary. So again, I'll show you guys all how to do that when we get into the search. Okay. Price match policy. So AA Vacations has price match policy, but they do have specific requirements, right? So these are the requirements. The booking must be placed on hold, and the booking must be less than 24 hours old. Okay. And also, if the hotel must be a American Airlines preferred hotel. It's only exclusive to the preferred hotels. And I'll show you guys where you can see that in the search. Then it also tells you the process. How am I going to request this price match for my client or maybe for myself, right? Obviously, these are special considerations to keep in mind. And obviously, it's not going to price match any membership companies, such as any of these examples: Sam's Club, AAA, BJ's, Costco, right? Okay. Okay. Sales contacts. If for whatever reason you need to get in contact with someone from the sales team, this is their contact information during travel assistance, price match requests, group requests, right? Any questions with that at all with that menu? It's pretty self-explanatory. It's very detailed and very easy to follow. So destinations, obviously this is going to show you some of AA Vacations' favorite destinations, but it will also show you some preferred destinations, all the different destinations that they go to, that they're able to service and book. Any deals, any travel deals? Are you going to earn any additional mileage for clients, for yourself, right? Any additional commission, any dollar savings, right? You can see that there. And if you wanted to see some more information on it, you can just click it and then it'll show you limited time offers and then some examples here. Okay. Yep, I'm getting to that, Erin. It's in marketing. Hotels. So it will also show you some favorite hotel brands, right? So if you kind of wanted some inspiration, or if you kind of wanted to see like, okay, what are some featured partners with AA Vacations? Like, let's say, for example, you end up not seeing your, the resort that you're looking for and it's not here. Maybe just look under the hotel partners and see what is available, okay? And then inspiration. So this is what I would, no, that's okay, Erin. This is what I would, I really wouldn't consider marketing, Erin. So it's not more like, it's not like actual like brochures that you're able to order or anything like that. Why I like this page under inspiration is because it gives you, like, for example, the best Nashville bars for eats and live music. So if you just read more, it kind of just gives you as an agent, as you're creating these trips for your clients, inspiration to present to them, right? Let's say you have a client that's going to Nashville, right? And you want to present them with some like 5-star eateries or some recommended eateries or something like that, right? So you can then come here, you can then present this to them, whether if you put it in your own words and create it yourself, or you send them this link, right? I don't believe that you can actually then send them this actual link. I don't know if it'll actually work, considering that this is under like your own travel agent login. But what you could do then is, what I would do if I had someone going to Nashville, I would just look at this and I would just write it in my own words. And I would just say, these are the recommended eateries, give a little bit of a description of the place, right? And that type of thing. So that's kind of how you can market or just give some more information on that specific location. Barb, yes. Yep. So just go to Travel Cafe and you would look up AA Vacations and just follow the prompts to sign up. Okay. Any questions with what I just went over at all, guys? Any questions at all? Okay, good. So I'm going to show you guys really quick a booking itinerary, what it looks like for the client. Okay, so once this is booked, you're going to receive an email from AA Vacations with the booking information, right? This is how it looks when you receive it. Obviously I sent this over to my client directly, but this is what the PDF looks like. Okay. So it's going to have the traveler information here. It's going to have my contact information here, right? Booking number, paid in full. Okay. Here's their room information, check-in, check-out dates, the room type, right? Different amenities that were available for that resort, their flights. These were connecting flights in London, so it just has that depicted there. This is their class, so business class for each flight that they took, okay? Here was their package total with their fees and then their total price, paid in full. So balances due 45 days prior to departure. Baggage allowance and fees. This little section looks very confusing, but if you look very closely, you'll actually notice that it tells you the baggage allowance for the clients. So here, it tells you the airport codes. So you just kind of have to know what the airport codes are to your client's destination. So with this package that was booked for my clients, from Newark to Cyprus, they were allowed one checked bag and then one carry-on bag, or 2 checked bags and a carry-on bag, something like that. And then from Cyprus back to Newark, same thing. And then they have a carry-on allowance, right? then it just says pets not permitted, sporting equipment, you know, so it's kind of hard a little bit to read, but if you just look at it closely, or even if you just look up the fare itself, so they were business class fare, you can then just look up the baggage allowances specifically for business class. Okay. Any terms and conditions, of course, that's always going to apply. Reservation policies, rental cars, right? So all the general information that's usually included in a booking itinerary. Okay. So that's what that looks like. And I will then show you how to create then a booking. So what I wanted to also show you too. So upon enrolling and registering with AA Vacations, they will then send you emails. So they haven't sent me one for January yet. At least I don't think they have, because it would have came up. So right here, they usually sent, it's going to come from like AAV info. And it's always going to be titled with the month promo codes. So it's going to show you, they're always going to email you promo codes that are applicable for that specific month. So the most recent one I have is for December. Obviously, I don't have anything for January yet, but then it'll tell you $75 off, right? And then booking, these are the booking dates. So you must book between that week or 2 weeks. And then these are the travel dates, right? So if there was something that you wanted to promote, then you could then offer $75 off, book with me, blah, 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 right? You have 5% bonus commissions to these different locations and select resorts. Also, you can then offer bonus miles for clients for these locations. And then obviously the very, very teeny tiny print is all the terms and conditions. So then you'll be able to see you know, some more information in terms of the $75 off. So the $75 off, I know it's super tiny, but it says they must spend a minimum of $4,000, minimum stay of 4 nights. Okay. And then there's certain blackout dates that are not applicable to receive that $75 off, right? So, it's nice to kind of see what the offers are. So then that way you can kind of play around with the site to see if there's any mock bookings that you kind of want to promote using AA Vacations. Okay. So, obviously, if you continue on the screen, it's just going to show you more deals, explore vacation ideas, just very simple to follow. So obviously, why book with us? These are just the different features that they offer. As I mentioned, you can customize your commission, very similar to Vax. They offer low deposit options, which is true. I was able to compare it this morning to same package using Pleasant Holidays, and the deposit was $500 less. It allows you to hold the pricing for 24 hours, and they also offer bulk air terms. Okay, so we're just going to do a trip here, fake trip. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'm just going to do the closest airport to me. You can follow and do whatever airport you want. So give me 1 second. We're going to do some dates here in April. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. What are bulk air terms? So bulk air terms, sometimes I have noticed that bulk air in comparison to published, those can be a little bit cheaper. You can always just look up to see the like specifics for that specific airline, but sometimes I have noticed, and it's always hit or miss. Sometimes the bulk air versus the published are cheaper fares. Okay, so when you hit search, this is what's going to come up, right? So very similar to Vax, it's going to have some like pre-populated flights up at the top. Okay, and these are nonstop flights, right? So let's say you like these flights. Let's say you want to keep these flights, you can. But let's say you don't and you want to change them, you can as well. So we're going to choose a different flight. If you select that, it's going to give you all the different options that are available. Okay. You can filter then to nonstop, one stop, right? If there was a certain time that you wanted. Okay. So we're just going to keep them as they were. Okay. They're nonstop flights to the Dominican Republic. Now you'll notice this is obviously economy fare and it has a letter next to it with an asterisk. So what I learned when I had to contact customer service, they explained to me that the letters, very confusing, and I hope I'm explaining it correctly, but the way he explained it is that the letters just kind of indicate how expensive the flights are. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot to share my screen. Okay. Let me do that again. So these are the flights that are populated here. You choose a different flight. If you want to choose a different flight, right? Maybe you didn't like those flight times. Maybe those flights came with stops, right? You could always do that and it's going to give you the different options here. Okay. But we're going to leave them as they are. Okay. So obviously, like I said, under economy, you'll see this economy fare, and then there's a letter next to it. So when I had to contact customer service for that specific itinerary that I showed you guys, the way they explained it is that depending on the letter in the alphabet, I don't believe that they actually go literally from A to Z, but depending on the letter of the alphabet, that's what indicates how expensive those flights are, though that fare or that seat is. So for example, the flight, let me go back to the itinerary. That I showed you. I believe they were I or something. Not this one. Okay, yeah. So it was business class, but the letter next to it was I or J. So from what the representative explained to me, they said literally this trip was booked a week before they left. So it was very expensive. Obviously they were leaving on the 20th and this was booked on the 12th, right? So that was just one of the factors as to why that seat was so expensive. And also considering another factor will be how full the plane is. So if there's only a few seats left, typically those are going to be more expensive in compared to the ones that don't have a few seats left. Okay. All right. So flights, we're going to leave the flights as they are. Hotels. Hotels are going to come up. You can filter the hotels by their picks, price, rating, hotel name, on sale, price, highest, right? What we're going to do is we're going to type in, I was looking at this resort earlier, actually this morning for a client, and I'm just going to do it as a mock booking for myself later today. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. So we're going to do Hilton, La Romana, all-inclusive adult resort. Okay. It's going to show you some photos of the resort if you wanted to see that. And then a description, very brief description, some hotel information, some amenities, all of their dining options, bars, swim up bars, entertainment as well. And all of the room options. Okay. So deluxe garden view, partial view. So I'm just going to do. No, Barb, you cannot. No commission on flight only. You'd have to do a, like a service fee or like a research fee or something. Okay, so I'm just going to do king bed. And it'll tell you then how much in addition to that basic package price. Okay. We'll then just hit continue. And this is what comes up then. Okay. Price summary, package price with the taxes and fees, total amount due. And then this is the commission. This is the part here where you can select agent markup. So let's say for whatever reason you wanted to apply an agent markup because you found, or let's say your clients found that this same package was going to be $7,000 or something. I don't know, something ridiculous. Or for whatever reason you wanted to apply an agent markup, you could. So let's say you just wanted to add $250, apply agent markup, the total package price changes. The commission still comes up as $593, and then the agent markup so is an additional line. It's not going to come up together. The reason, because remember there's that 10% fee that's held from that $250. Okay. So let's just leave it at that. It'll then ask you for the traveler information. So I'm just going to put in my information so that way I can show you the next steps. You have to put in information here in order to go to the next step. Okay. So I'll just put my information, my husband's information. Okay. So let's pretend you put your client's information up at the top, right? Just like as I did. The travel agent information, it's going to automatically autofill your agent information as per your profile that you created. Okay. So agency name, that's Archer Travel. Archer Travel is our host agency. It's going to automatically pull that in. I left that the same. I don't care what is up here, right? The only thing I care about is my name and the email. The email needs to be your email. So then that way, when you receive the itinerary, it's going to come directly to you and it's not going to go to your clients because you want to make sure everything looks good, right? You don't want to send them your commission amount, right? So I don't care that Archer's information is listed there. It doesn't bother me. That's Archer's phone number. That's Archer's fax number. Again, it doesn't bother me. I leave that there. So now AA allows you to then put in your client's advantage number. So if they are accruing miles, if they are preferred members with American Airlines, they can still accrue their miles with this booking through you. Okay. So then you can put in their respective information here. Now, air passenger information. So then you'll just put in their gender. Traveler identification number. So if they are, if they have like that TSA pre-check or something, you would then input that here. So it says here in like super, super small print that seat selection is currently not available on their portal. So even though it allows you, even though it kind of prompts you here to choose your seat, it's not available through AA. So you can then just let your clients know that they can then not book their seats. They can select their seats. Most likely it's going to be for an additional fee because this is an economy fare. They can then select their seats then during check-in, which is 24 hours prior to departure. Okay. So any special requests, additional details, you can put that here, right? So maybe if this is like a honeymoon couple, you can put honeymoon / birthday or something, obviously these are requests. This is not something that's going to be honored or, upheld, right? So it's always a request. It's always going to be dependent on the hotel, accommodations, right? Corinna says, if they don't have AA number, can we put our number in? You're going to accrue miles anyway as you're booking. You're going to accrue miles anyway for yourself through American Airlines as an agent for being an agent. So you're like, if we were to book this, if I were to book this, I would accrue miles for being an agent. Okay, so pre-departure protection. So this is something that's offered with American Airline Vacations specifically, where they offer protection prior to, up until travel. Okay, this is not actually travel protection that's going to cover them during their travel. This is prior to. So I'll explain the difference. So the pre-departure protection, this is going to protect them, and I'll give you an example. The client itinerary that I showed you guys, that they went to Cyprus, he denied it. He didn't want the pre-departure protection. He calls me a few days prior to leaving. Well, we booked this a week before, so he called me a few days later and said that his sister, the one that was traveling with him, had a medical emergency. She most likely was going to need surgery and probably was not going to be able to come on the trip. Like, they didn't want to risk her health to travel in case something happened while they were away. Okay, understandable, but he waived the pre-departure protection. So I explained, I said, well, you're not covered, unfortunately. So I said, but let me just call American Airlines just in case, see if there's anything that they can do, which I knew there was nothing that they can do, but I didn't want to just leave my client like hanging like that. So I said, you decline the pre-departure protection, so you're not going to be covered for anything, but I'll just call them and I'll get back to you. So as I mentioned to him, I was right. He wasn't covered for anything. He wanted to completely remove her from the reservation and add another sister, or either completely remove her and him just travel by himself. Well, if he wanted to do that, then it was going to be $200 to remove his sister from the reservation, but he wasn't going to receive any refund for her side of the package. So his $9,000 some trip, he would have been paying $9,000 some for just one person to go. So obviously he was upset, but he understood, considering that he declined the pre-departure protection. So just a learning opportunity for people. And I tell my clients all the time, you never know what's going to happen. Okay. So this basically allows you to revise your booking, allows you to make any changes, anything like that, up to and including the 8th day prior to departure. Or you can completely cancel at any time without incurring any types of fees, revision fees or cancellation fees. Because his booking in particular was booked literally 8 days before departure, even if he would have purchased this pre-departure protection, it wouldn't have covered him anyway, because obviously the situation was unexpected. Now, he decided to completely waive travel protection in general, so he didn't purchase anything at all. So it was just, he would have lost this $9,000 trip. So it's just another opportunity for clients to kind of protect themselves in addition to like a travel protection type of thing. Okay. So then it just gives you then the terms with cancellations and then with changes, right? So AA Vacations allows you to place a free 24-hour hold. Obviously guaranteeing that prices are going to stay the same, right? You're holding that price, you're holding these flights, this room for your clients. Full payment is then due and required within 45 days prior to travel, okay? Prices are not guaranteed until the deposit is posted, okay? So we're just gonna hit continue. I'm gonna show you where it allows you then to apply commissions if you wanted to, or if you wanted to then just put a deposit, okay? So if we hit continue, this is now going to take us to the payment details. So obviously it doesn't show you anything about deposit or anything like that. So you'll have to actually hit credit card and you'll have to hit select, and it's going to tell you the amount. So for $400, they can just reserve this amount, and then the remaining balance will then be due 45 days prior to their departure, which will be probably most likely this sometime the end of February. Morgan, you don't necessarily have to put anything for agent markup. That was just something that I put just to kind of show you guys the example. Like for example, for my client that I booked to Cyprus, I did an agent markup. The reason I did an agent markup was because I had been working with him for that trip for months, like 4 months probably. And I get it. He was a lawyer. He's busy, you know, but he just had me back and forth like a ping pong ball, wasn't sure the travel dates. And then he wanted to go to Greece. And then he was making changes. Like every single time I was sending him quotes, he was making changes. So I was working hard for this trip, right? So that's why I applied that agent markup. So that's the only time that I personally would do an agent markup, is if I'm ever in a situation like that where this client is literally stringing me along for months on end and finally decides to book, then I will apply an agent markup. You're welcome. Okay, so $400 deposit, right? So most likely, if you were to put the same exact package into Vax, it's going to be a completely different deposit. The deposit is going to be more than $400. So this offers low deposit options, obviously, which is nice. $400 is not bad for a big trip. Now, what you can do as well, if for whatever reason you yourself are booking a trip through AA Vacations or for your client, and they have a voucher or they have a gift certificate, right? Or they have a credit card number that beginning with 2001 American Airlines credit card number, it then just tells you to call a certain number, right? So you can still book this for your client, regardless if they have a gift certificate or a travel voucher, but you'll just have to do it over the phone, okay? And then it'll tell you what the booking number is. And Barb, honestly, I'm not too sure in terms of it says you earn 1 mile for every $5 spent. I'm not sure if that's the same as if you were already like an AA Advantage member. Okay, so let's say you want to apply your commission, right? So if you want to apply your commission, let's say this is the trip for you and your spouse or your partner or whatever. Yeah, it is really cool. I don't know of any other supplier that does that either. So if you're able to book trips through AA and accrue miles for yourself, might as well, right? Okay, so commission adjustment. So we're going to just don't choose this option to make the screen a little bit easier. So we're going to hit commission adjustment. We're going to select, and then we're going to put, oops, sorry. Hold on, I have to do math here. I'm not a good math person. So then we would put $843. We're putting $843 because that's how much $250 plus the commission is, $593. Okay. So if this was your own trip, now you, rather than waiting for your commission, you can just use your commission for your trip, right? So it's another feature. Or maybe if you wanted to do this for a client, I don't know why you would want to do this for a client, but if you wanted to do this for a client, you could apply your commission for their trip. Or maybe this is just like a longtime client and you wanted to thank them, right? So you could always then just do that as well. That's another feature. So I think that's pretty cool too. Then you can enter your card information, okay? And billing information here. Payment summary, it'll then tell you, Corinna, just as I mentioned, if you're applying the commission for your own travel, then you would just hit select commission adjustment. Let's say this is a trip for my husband and I'm going to put the total amount here and it's going to apply it to my balance. That's all. Total purchase, how much you have paid, what the outstanding balance is. Okay. Terms and conditions. So this will give you any terms and conditions specific to, you know, the AA vacation package. So, obviously, if this is without pre-departure protection, they will be subject to these penalties. 15 days or more prior to departure, they'll have $200 per person with fees. 14 days or less, they'll have 100% penalty. So for example, when I contacted AA for my client's travel, because it was literally 4 days prior to their trip, my client would have lost out on his entire reservation. He would not have received a single cent. I would not have received a single cent either in terms of commission. So the commission was not protected with AA Vacations. That's the only downside. There are some other vendors and suppliers that will protect your commission and you would still get paid even if your client cancels. So there's always pros and cons, right? Grace asked, does the agent markup get paid to Archer and counters? Yeah. So the agent markup gets included into your commission. So that agent markup was $250. Remember that AA Vacations takes 10%. So again, I'm not good at math. So 10% of $250 is $25. So they're going to take $25. So then you would receive $225 plus whatever, $593, $818. If you were to submit this to Archer. Well, I guess 80% of the 818, right? But if you're applying it to your trip, then it doesn't matter. You're welcome. Charlene asked, when you add the commission, are you letting the client know that you are adding commission? How much? No, I don't tell my client commission. They don't need to know my commission. And they don't need to know my commission. I do not charge travel agent fees or research fees or anything like that for clients. So I'm very upfront with them and tell them my services are 100% free to you. There's nothing that you are required to pay me in advance in order for me to start your research for your trip. I have had clients ask me how I'm getting paid. Well, if I'm not paying you, how are you getting paid? I explain, well, because we have a relationship with these vendors and suppliers that we're using, there is a certain percentage of commission, or there's a certain percentage of the total trip package that is paid to me. Nothing in addition is coming out of your pocket. That's how I explain it to them. But I don't ever share how much. I personally don't think it's appropriate to tell clients that. That's just my opinion. Is AA Vacations better, worse, same as Vax Pleasant Holidays? Not necessarily price, but variety, convenience, and star ratings. Well, I really wouldn't say that it's better or worse or the same. I just think it's another vendor for you guys to have access to, right? The same way that the inventory that you find on Vax is going to differ from Pleasant Holidays, and same thing with American Airlines. Like, for example, when I did this booking with you guys now, and I was looking for this specific resort. I had a client reach out to me this morning that they're trying to plan this trip in April, and they're looking for this specific resort. It's not coming up in Vax. And the only place it wasn't coming up on Evo Rewards. It was coming up on Pleasant Holidays, but it was more expensive actually compared to American Airlines. So when I pulled it up on American Airlines, I literally did the same hotel, like same date, same flight and everything. Pleasant Holidays was more expensive than AA Vacations. So this gave me a better option to provide for my clients, and the commission, I wasn't missing out on commission. The commission actually ended up being a little bit more on AA Vacations compared to Pleasant Holidays. So I think it's not that it's better, worse, the same. It just gives you another thing to kind of price match and compare. Can I get my clients a better deal using AA Vacations, or should I just stick to these? You know what I mean? Barb, yeah, a lot of people say that. A lot of people don't like Vax because they feel like it's outdated. I personally love Vax. I use Vax for almost everything, unless if for whatever reason, like this morning, I couldn't find the resort that my client wanted, right? So I went and used another vendor. So you kind of find the ones that you like and that you feel more comfortable with. So that's really it, right? So then obviously these are just the terms and conditions that, as with any type of vendor or supplier that you use, they're going to have their terms and conditions, right? So that's really it. And then I agree to terms and conditions and purchase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back because one of the other agents had asked me a question prior to, oh, I forgot to show you guys too. So I didn't scroll all the way down, but price summary, agent markup, right? Promotion code. So let's say I had one of those promotion codes in the email that was sent to me that I wanted to apply. I could apply that here. It gives me then another brief overview of their itinerary or their stay. And plus then transfers. So it allows me to then add transfers. Now, this package in particular, the transfer would be free for the location that they're going to. They're going to the La Romana zone. But then they have different things, right? So, or you can search activities if you wanted to. But I'm going to go back again. I wonder if it'll allow me to go back. Because I wanted to, if it takes me out, that's fine. Oh, no, it doesn't. What does it? Morgan, correct. Or well, let me start with Joel or Joel. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. That's probably not a destination that's offered through AA Vacations. Yeah, if it's not coming up for you, then it's probably not a location that's offered through AA Vacations. So Morgan. Nope, that's with every vendor, Morgan. Yeah, that's with every, sorry, I'm just trying to see. Yeah, that's with every vendor. Flights only, we do not receive commissions. However, you can do like a service fee, a wholesale fee. I have done that before in the past with flight only. So that way, at least you're being compensated for your time, right? Depending on how much the total package is or the flight costs are, will then kind of determine what my research fee or wholesale fee is going to be, right? So I might just have to start a new search. Well, here you can save the itinerary. That way I can show you guys, you can save that. You can put your email, name, put a little memo if you want to, itinerary, and we can save it. Okay. And then this is the booking number. I'm just going to start a new search really quick just so that I can show you guys how to place an itinerary on hold really quick. It'll allow me to do that. Okay. And Aaron, for Sandals, if Sandals is on American Airlines, not specifically in Dominican Republic. I personally haven't seen Sandals, honestly. I've used American Airlines a few times and I haven't seen Sandals come up, but that may have just been the location that I'm looking at. I know that Sandals does have resorts in Dominican Republic, so I would assume, if I haven't seen it a few times, I would assume that it's not offered. But I know if you do not yet have access to Sandals because you haven't been here for that 6-month period, you can access Sandals through Pleasant Holidays if you needed to. I'm just going to select a random room or resort so that way I can show you guys how to put it on hold. Okay. Let me just put my name here really quick. Does anybody have any questions at all about pleasant holiday, not pleasant holidays, American Airlines. Okay, yeah, so just in a few more months, then you can have access to sandals. All right, so let me do this really quick just to show you guys. Leave that alone. Place on hold. So we'll hit place on hold. Okay, so they just emailed me. American Airlines just emailed me the itinerary. Okay, so now it has the traveler information, right? It almost looks exactly as the itinerary or the quote that I sent over to my client, right? So now if I go to my email, here it is. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, and this comes directly to me. Obviously, if for whatever reason you ended up putting your client's name or client's email, it's not the end of the world because your commission is not listed here. So it's okay. The commission would have come here if it was. So it's not a big deal. But I personally just have gotten into the habit of putting my email already. So now let's say that you want to, let's say your client is like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to book this. Let's do it. So let me click this. I don't know that it's going to. Let me put in the booking number. Seriously. 225-77-206. Oh, did this take me through? This is not helping me. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. No, it's not. I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay, well, anyway, I'm sorry that it's not working. But if you wanted to book this then you would then just pull up this booking number under American Airlines vacations, and then you'd be able to then process the deposit if you were holding this for your client until tomorrow, or then just finalize it. Okay. I wanted to pull it up for you guys so that way, I wonder maybe. Wonder if I just put it. There we go. Okay. So you then go to my bookings, then you pull up the booking number, and then we'll click the hyperlink. I registered. Nope, you don't have to put the supplier request form. You register with American Airlines directly. When I email the booking to my client, I'll show you how I send it to them. Just give me 1 second. So here's the itinerary, right? Here's where you can then make a payment if I wanted to, right? Because it's going to pull up everything here. Now, one of the agents that had reached out to me prior to my training had asked me, her specific question was, if once the booking is on hold, are you able to change the client's name or information? I told her that I wasn't too sure if you could, because I personally have not placed one on hold to then follow back up with a client, but it doesn't seem as though you can. So obviously their traveler information is here. Nothing is editable, I guess, if that makes sense. You cannot change anything on here unless if you just want this to be canceled and then just create a whole new booking yourself. Okay. This is where you can then apply that agent markup. So if for whatever reason you're like, you know what, I don't need for it to be, here's the commission. Oh, this is the new reservation. That's right. Let's say you wanted to apply that agent markup, right? Because they didn't book with you or something. I don't know, for whatever reason, you could do that here. And apply that here. Okay. If you wanted to. All right. If for whatever reason you wanted to do that, you could. Okay. And that's it. Then the total booking amount gets adjusted. And then there's the commission. Okay. Any questions at all, guys, with what I went over? I recorded the training, so I will have it uploaded at some point later this evening. Let me know if you have any questions. Great. I'm glad, Barb. Good. Do we register with each individual vendor right when we're getting started as an agent? So we can use it. Morgan, I would just recommend, if you're a newer agent, I would assume that you have the Google Classroom, I would assume, access. I normally just advise my new agents that get started, register with the vendors and suppliers that are in the Google Classroom for now. Those are the main ones that you'll need. You can register for more as you see fit. Obviously, you don't want to overwhelm yourself too much in the beginning, especially as you're trying to kind of, learn how to navigate things. So you definitely can register for as many vendors and suppliers as you want to, but just make sure you're not overwhelming yourself, but yeah, that way you have access to it if for whatever reason you have a client that requests. All right, I'm going to just stop recording.